So this video is kind of crazy, and it's a sign of the times. Here we have a Fox News reporter who goes on Fox News, and he actually issues a dire warning to the Fox host about how, you know, this socialism thing is a lot more appealing than you think, and this socialism thing can help Democrats win, and you do yourself no favors by pretending that's not the case. So this is like a big warning to MAGA. Watch this.
Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York. He's obviously a democratic socialist. And a lot of Republicans have kind of said, oh, watch and see what happens to New York. That's going to be the death of socialism. You don't necessarily think that's the case.
No, I don't. And thanks for having me, John. Also, you know, the conventional wisdom regarding Mamdani was that his victory was going to be a boon for Republicans in the midterms because they could just point at socialism and say, you know, there's the boogeyman. I don't think that...
Yeah, until Trump bent the knee to Zoran and said, he's actually very rational. I actually like this guy a lot. Undercutting the whole Republican argument. But, I mean, his point stands and is correct that Republicans might think Zoran is like the easier Democrat to beat. They're wrong. He's actually the way harder Democrat to beat. The Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, centrist Democrat mentality is the one that's easy to beat because it's toothless. It stands for nothing. Zoran and democratic socialism, that actually stands for something. It means something. It actually is for improving people's lives, and that's way harder to beat than they think. They still live in like the 1970s where like, oh, socialism is a naughty word. So if I just say the word socialism, then I'm just going to win by default. Like, got some bad news for you, son. That's not how it works anymore.
In the midterms, because they could just point at socialism and say, you know, there's the boogeyman. I don't think that this is going to work. I think there is a real misreading of the ground in Middle America, the heartland, call it whatever you want. I spend most of my time there talking to voters, and they're not terrified of socialism, and they're not the conservative, what we used to call blue dog Democrat types that you expect to find there. One quick example, two 30-somethings that I met in Dallas, these guys were Democrats, but not hardcore. Socialism came up. I asked a question that we hear a lot on this channel, where has it ever worked? Without missing a beat, the first guy said Norway. Second guy chimes in and says Sweden and Finland. Now, look, we can debate that, and we kind of did.
Okay, but before this continues, 100% they watch Secular Talk, right? Because that's been my answer on that for fucking ever. I feel like that's, I mean, to be fair, of course you don't have to listen to me say it in order to deduce that yourselves, but I do feel like I've said that so many times, more than probably anybody, so maybe they actually watch this show. Maybe I'm patting myself on the back a little too hard, I'm sucking myself off a little too hard, but I mean, that's the correct answer, right? Like, that's the correct answer.
Question that we hear a lot on this channel, where has it ever worked? Without missing a beat, the first guy said Norway. Second guy chimes in and says Sweden and Finland. Now, look, we can debate that, and we kind of did, those models, but the takeaway here is that when I said socialism, their mental image was not bread lines in Cuba or the former Soviet Union. It was free healthcare and generous vacation packages in Scandinavia. So I think Republicans have to understand the ground is a little different than they think it is right now.
Oh, it's not a little different, son. It's a lot different. When you look at the polls now, socialism is no longer the boogie word that it was, the boogeyman word that it was. It's just not. You know, like the Democratic voters have a majority favorability towards socialism. Young voters, majority favorability towards socialism. You know, Zoran's out there saying, yes, I'm a democratic socialist. I'm proud of it. Bernie, same fucking thing. Bernie's been the most liked senator in the country for fucking decades now. So, like, I believe it's over. Like, that debate is now over. You're never going to be able to just say communist or socialist again and have that work. It's just not going to happen. And the answer that those guys gave, there's logic to it, right? Because yes, those countries are not like pure socialist countries. Everybody knows that. But on the spectrum of politics and economics, they're much further to the left. Yes, they have elements of capitalism. Yes, they have elements of socialism. We have a lot more capitalism and a lot less socialism here in this country. But yes, those countries that have more socialism and less capitalism, they self-report being way fucking happier. They have higher quality of life. They have better health outcomes. They have more vacation time. They have higher wages. You go down the line of, you know, the metrics that you would grade a civilized society on, and they're kicking our ass in virtually every one. And so, yes, guess what? Eventually people figure it out. Hold on. Why do we not have paid vacation time by law, but every other developed country does? I don't get that. People caught on to it. They were like, oh, well, that's bullshit. We should have that, right? I mean, that's just one example, but like paid sick leave, paid vacation time by law, higher wages, where a lot of the Scandinavian countries, they have like everybody's in a union, so you don't even need a minimum wage because the lowest wage is still higher than what a minimum wage would be. Like, people finally learned, oh shit, here are the ways in which this country's fucked. Why is it we have such low taxes on the wealthy and like, you know, the working class picks up the slack? No, it should be the opposite. You should have a progressive tax system where the wealthy pay more and the working class pays less and gets better services. People caught on. They caught on. It's the era of the internet. People finally decided, let me look some shit up. And they realized, oh, okay, so we're getting fucked. And this is a corporate hellhole. It's a corporatocracy. The billionaires have all the fucking control. Money in politics has really corrupted the system. You could not pull the wool over people's eyes forever, right? Like, eventually people are going to look and realize, oh shit, we're ranked 11th out of 11 when it comes to modern countries for their healthcare system. Well, that sucks. Like, eventually people are going to find out. They were going to find out. And they were going to realize single-payer Medicare for all is the way to go. We should have free college. We should have a living wage, right? We should end the corruption. It was going to happen. It was bound to happen eventually. And now I think we're really, really at that point, mostly because you had the centrist Democrats who generally trusted the Democratic politician and establishment to deliver for us. They now have woken up and realized, oh, hold on, Chuck Schumer is Diet MAGA. Hakeem Jeffries is Diet MAGA. These people are cucks. They're doormats to the right. They basically fold for Trump no matter what. So they're in the way of progress. And they finally realized, oh, hold on, it's the Bernie Sanders, it's the AOC, it's the Zoran Mamdanis, you know, it's Katabu Ghazaleh, it's Abdul El Sayed, it's these people who are running out. Like, this is the mindset we want. The Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, these people, this is what we need. This is what we want. We need a left-wing politics that actually represents left-wing ideals. Could you imagine a Democrat supporting democratic policies? I know, crazy, wild, hard to wrap your mind around, but that's where we're at now. And so it's over for these motherfuckers as soon as we get to the point where these left-wing candidates run on that bold economic vision and hammer home that, no, we are the people we're going to make life more affordable for you. We're going to take the necessities off the table. That's going to be paid for with tax dollars through the taxes we raise on the wealthy. Because then what's the response? They have no response. Right-wing politics by its very nature is subservient to billionaires, is subservient to capital, is, just a mishmash of corruption. That's what right-wing politics is. It's like cultural resentment, authoritarianism, fascism, bigotry and xenophobia mixed with cucking to billionaires and hyper-capitalism. Well, that's a hellscape for everybody. Nobody wants to live in a system like that. So people have woken up. They've woken up. And I think we're experiencing our moment. The left-wing Tea Party, I believe, is here. Now, Afton Bain, she did not win her race the other day, but you got to remember it was a Trump plus 22 district. And she ended up cutting it all the way to Republican plus 8. So double-digit pickup, bro. If you replicate that all across the country in the midterms, which is what we're looking to do, that's Democrats with a fucking 40, 50 seat majority or whatever it is. And so that's what's going to happen. If we keep that mindset, keep our eyes on the prize, call out all of the MAGA bullshit while also repping a real fucking economic agenda to deliver real change for people, that's how you get the wins. And now we're at the point where even Fox News has to admit that. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.